Steelers lose to the Colts 27-24. And in this game, there was mistakes on both sides of the ball. The defense had a bad game. It was a bad game starting from first drive. You know, the Colts were able to go down the field first drive and score a touchdown. It's early in the game, and the game is about adjustments. So you say, hey, the defense will adjust, get better, and play better throughout the game, and that just didn't happen. The young quarterback Richardson was able to go up and down the field and score some points. Joe Flacco was knocked out of the game due to a hip injury. Joe Flacco had to come in, for him, and same thing, he was able to go up and down the field and score points as well. The defense wasn't able to get a stop, wasn't able to get that stop, momentum change stop, and couldn't get off the field. And for the offense, man, the offensive line, not a good game for them. Some patchwork on the offensive line. You got some guys out, and you got to work with what you got. And the line didn't have a good showing. Running game wasn't there. Besides Cordell Patterson, he went down with an ankle injury, and after that, the running game was pretty obsolete. And Justin Fields had some mishaps. He had the fumble, that's turnover, and then the miscue on the snap, at the end of the game. And the coaching, man, I mean, Arthur Smith was just not. He didn't dial it up. He didn't, the start was very slow. He didn't open it up until he really had to open it up, and at that game, you behind the 8 ball and things, and you have to, ask your quarterback to go to work, which he did. Mike Tomlin, coaching as well, fall is under the coaching umbrella, so with that being said, you asked the question, who's to blame for this loss here, man. If you look at it, man, I think 24 points should have been enough to win this game. 24 points should have been enough to win this game. 27 points was just too much to give up to this Colts team. So, in my opinion, I say this game's on the defense. You come into the game being the number one defense, stop the run and this and that, and you got diced up by the young quarterback, second-year guy, and then by the older veteran, Joe Flacco. No real pressure, especially on Flacco. I thought that was kind of surprising. Flacco can't really move around, so, and they only got to him a few times later in the game. But, I thought they would get on Flacco early and often, but that just didn't happen. So I just think that the defense, man, for as good as a unit that they are, they're still a good unit. There's people's after this loss saying, oh, the defense are frauds and this and that. No. Just a bad game. Still a good defense. I believe they're going to bounce back, next week. But this game here was just a bad showing. Patrick Queen, nothing out of him. Joey Porter Jr., it was just, penalties and plays being made. So, the defense, man, and safety Deshaun Elliott, he made a comment after the game saying that they have to practice harder. I don't know if he was talking about leading up to toward this game. The Steelers had all the praise and the defense. Did that slow down practice? Did they not practice as hard, this week? Playing the Colts and things, taking them lightly, who knows? But he did make that comment after the game, so that was kind of like, make your ears go up. So the defense, like I said, you got to bounce back, and you got Dallas coming next week, so I believe that they're going to bounce back. There was mistakes, like I said, on both sides of the ball, but man, you get down 17-0 and you give up 27 points, and when the offense found the rhythm. The second half is coming back. Fields is working. He's doing his thing, man. And the offense cut cut the deficit down to 7 points. That's when it was time for the defense to get that stop. I know it's been a tough game and things, but you got to get at least that one stop to get the ball back to your offense and keep that momentum going with that offense. And they just couldn't get this stop. The offense came, scored, and it was a 7-point game. And then Joe Flacco comes down and scores, and now it's back up to 14, man. And it's hard, for your offense, making it that much harder for your offense to come back. They just scored, and now, you let them score, so the deficit really doesn't go anywhere. So it's like, man, what's going on? So the defense, I believe have to wear this one. TJ Watt, a no-show in this game. I know Alex Highsmith was out and things, and they're gonna focus now. They can focus more on TJ Watt, man. But being a player that you are, you got to find a way to make it happen. And he's allowed to have a bad game, just like the defense is allowed to have a bad game. So, not going to be too hard on him. I'm not going to go and say, oh, man, this defense ain't what it said and this and no. It's still a good unit, man. You have 3 good games. You have one, and now you have one bad one, and you say it's not a good unit. That don't make sense. So, you just can't have another game like this. You just can't stack these games. You got to let this game pass. Learn from it. Don't take anyone lightly. And now it's back. It's back to business. It's back to basics with the defense, man. Forget about the number ones and all that talk, man. Work your way up like you're at the bottom, and get to the top, and don't worry about what the national media is saying and all that stuff. Keep playing like you don't hear nothing, like you don't know nothing. Like I said, to the offense, Justin Fields made some mistakes in this game. Can't, excuse that. Not making no excuses, for Justin Fields. A fumble, you can't have that, But that offensive line, man, if you're seeing that on that, man, it was 2 free guys coming on him. As soon as he snapped the ball, it was just he was running for his life, but he still has to hold on to the ball. He still got to hold on to the ball, so that is on him. And if you look at the bad snap at the end of the game, like I said, man, 27 points. You got 24 points at the time of the bad snap. You're trying to go down and score, get in field goal range. You're right there, midfield area, and you can go down and get the game tying field goal with Boswell. Boswell is damn near automatic once you get across the other end. But the mishaps with the snap, which is, Fields owned it and said that was on him. Him and Frazier, they was both back and forth with it, but Fields owned it. He took accountability for it, and he said it was on him. But at that point, there's 24 points on the board. And if the other team don't have 27, maybe in that instance, you're you're just running a ball and kneeling it down and for the winning formation at that point, if the defense don't allow the other team to get 27 points, in my opinion, there. Like I said, no excuse for Justin Fields for his mistakes. You gotta hold on to that ball. Even though there's guys on you, 2 guys swarming, you still gotta protect the football. And the mishaps, even though, okay, you got 24 points, but you still gotta own it and be ready for when that snap is called. This happens a couple times, and you can't have it happen like this time in a critical time at the end of the game when you're trying to tie the game or potentially win it. Who knows, you make a play, somebody break a tackle, and you go in for the end zone and win the game. So and then the coaching, the coaching was bad too, man. Arthur Smith, he needs to open up the book, and I think this game might have unleashed the playbook for Fields. I think it might have unleashed, because now when he was asked to make some plays, you seen what he was about. So now the handcuffs should come off, because you can see he's capable of making all the plays, in crunch time and everything. So now, he said something about starting slow and things like that in his post game. So now it's time. You got Dallas, CD Lamb, and Dak Prescott coming into town. You gotta go to work early next week. So I'm expecting a bounce back performance from everybody. I'm expecting a bounce back performance as a team as a whole, from the coaching, Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith. Get it together. Terrell Austin and the defense plan. Get it all together. I'm expecting that. Justin Fields, I know he's eager to get back out there because of those plays, that was made. And George Pickens, I forgot about George Pickens, man. Come on, man. You got to hold on to the rock. That could have been a potential touchdown, right there. You're right there around the 10 yard line or whatever, red zone, so you're at least getting 3. So, that right there is just as good as a receiver he is, man. But you got to own up to your mistakes. And that was a costly mistake down there in the red zone. So like I said, man, it was mistakes on both sides of the ball in this game. Just a bad, sloppy game from the start. It picked up in the end, but time just ran out on him. But like I said, I'm expecting a bounce back game from everybody. Fields, I know he's going to be eager to get back out there, man. It just left a bad taste in his mouth. I could just hear it, in his post game. The things, he was able to do, making history with the 300 yards passing and the 50 yards running and the 2 touchdowns and things, and a loss. I know that can't sit well. The defense, I know they're eager to get back out there and let people know that we're not a fluke, and this is just one game, and we are the treacherous, defense that people are saying. And Arthur Smith, I know he wants to dial it up. People saying you're Mr. Conservative. Let's go, Arthur. And Mike Tomlin, it'll be tough. That fire Tomlin thing, man. You don't want that to start coming around. It's too early for that. And it shouldn't happen when the team is winning and doing things. But you know how that can go. Dallas coming into town, prime time. Steelers love the prime time game. So, and that's another reason why I'm expecting a bounce back performance, because of the Steelers, the way they play on prime time, especially a home prime time game. So, I'm going to be fired up. I know the team is going to be fired up, as well as you guys, the Steeler Nation as a whole, man, to see how the group come back, how the boys rally from this loss here. Even though the team lost, there's no moral victories and nothing like that. But you can take away some positives, and the positive is Justin Fields looked damn good. In this game here, man. People wanted to know, hey, if the Steelers went down. If the Steelers went down and they had to climb back into a game, a shootout with one of those quarterbacks, man, does Justin Fields have what it takes? Does he have the firepower? Can he stay calm and cool and clutch times? And he showed he can do that, So even though you lose, like I said, you may unlock a part of Fields and that offense and open up that playbook all the way. And points may start coming in a flurry, on a consistent basis with this offense with Fields on the helm. And it shouldn't be no Russell if he's healthy thing, man. Come on, man. You see the performance. What are we doing? Let the man go, let him grow. He's getting better. This being his best game. You could say each game he's getting better. So how can you pull a guy for Russell, and especially if that offensive line is not is going to be what it is? James Daniels, James Daniels went down with Achilles tear. He's out for the rest of the year. So now you got to plug and play his position. So now that line is even more damaged. You know, Troy Fautano down for the year. You know, you had Herbig already go down for the year. Now you got James Daniels down for the year. So, man, it's a patched up line. Do you really want to see Russell, you know, coming off that calf behind that line? I don't know, you know. So, maybe in emergencies, but right now Fields is doing some things and he's growing, so you got to let that go, in my opinion. You know, Mike Tomlin should just come out and put an end to it, which I believe he's going to have to in the next week or two, because Russell is knowing Russ, he's going to let it be known that he's healthy. So then Mike Tomlin is going to have to say something. But if you know, Fields bounce back performance, Dallas even the same performance as this game, a little better in a win, you just gotta name him the guy, you know. And you know, you all the fancy ways of dancing around it, you know, sometimes you just got to be straight up. So this game sloppy on both ends, you know, but I think the defense gotta own this one. You can't give up 27 points, you know, to the young quarterback and Flacco, man. It just is, you know, rookie center in there and all that good stuff, man. You got to come out with a way to slow them down and not let them get 27 points. You know, they're better than that. They know they're better than that, and I believe they're going to be better than that next week. So who's to blame? For me, it would be the defense, in my opinion. But they're still a good defense, and I'm looking forward to seeing them go to work, as well as the team as a whole, when Dallas comes to town Sunday night prime time. So thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to get all the new videos. And until next time, I'm out.